I missed. I missed. Somehow I missed. You can call the shots. I had to decide right then and there though, get my head back in the game, get back in the tree and get to hunting. So I went to site number 2. Site number 2 was another crossing area, a heavily used trail where the deer were going across the river to a very green field. Didn't take long, deer were showing up. No big bucks came at first. I saw a few does cross here, a few does cross there. Then I happened just to turn slightly to my right, buck. And there stood one of the biggest, prettiest bucks you'd ever want to see. This buck, he was in no hurry. He took his time, strolling leisurely through the Russian olives, picking up whatever he could, nibbling, browsing, and not showing any hurry to get across the river. That buck got to the edge of the river. He stood there for a long time, looking around, and that's what deer do before they make a big, bold, open area move. They check all their surroundings. They don't want to get caught in danger. Just as he was ready to drop off that bank and make his move, something spooked him.
Bow hunting, it's a game of yards, and so far, it's first and goal for Mark. I'm always 10 yards behind the shot.
A lot of movement this morning. It's real dry here in South Dakota, and this alfalfa field across is one of the only green beacons in the whole area, so all the deer are converging on it. And of course they all leave in different corridors, but the bucks have been leaving right through this corridor for some reason. There's bucks stacking up right now, getting ready to come across. It looks like there's at least 2 that are probable shooters in there. Those bucks, they didn't make me wait long. They started diving off that riverbank, and here came the little bucks. 2 of them to begin with got way ahead of the main group and jacked around and got on the other side of me as the other deer were beginning to spit up on my side of the river. Immediately, one of the bigger bucks started rubbing his antlers on some of the young vegetation, the young trees right up on the riverbank. But with this buck rubbing, the other one kind of not paying much attention, and these other little young bucks just kind of bouncing around, nobody seemed to care. I thought, well, this might happen yet. One of the young bucks that was with the big bucks took a hard turn and went behind me. So I figured, you know what, follow the leader. They're all gonna go there. And I turned around my stand to get ready for that shot, looked over my shoulder, no. The other ones were lining out the other way. So I had to move 180 degrees again in my stand. Remember, if you don't stand up in your stand, you could get caught sitting and not have that much mobility. So I did my 180 move and got ready for the bucks coming under me. First, a young little 4-point popped out right in front of me. And the cameraman stayed on that one because I said, take the lead one. Well, the lead one was actually the 5x5, but he had cut out a little further and left this one all by himself. That 5x5 kept marching to his own drum beat, came right behind a tree. I drew, he was in the shooting lane 15 yards, and without question, my Matthews went into action. The shot looked good. He was right in the shooting lane I'd set up for on this side. There's only really one shooting lane there. I didn't want to spook the whole area because my friends were still hunting, and so I didn't want to, get all the deer in alert. So I waited until most of the deer had left, moved off into other bedding areas, and then slipped out of my tree stand to hopefully go claim my prize. With that arrow out of the buck, it should open up a wound channel that should bleed a lot better now. And just from what I can see, we're gonna find that buck pretty quick. Oh, I'm done tracking. He's right there. You know, this buck went a little further than I thought he would, but that's what happens with a quartering away shot sometimes. You don't catch all the vitals going in, and in this one, it looks like that's probably what happened. Great exit wound where that buck was bleeding, and look at this. A nice mature 5x5 South Dakota whitetail. That river crossing we're hunting, every sit, we almost had a buck. Yeah, I remember that one miss, but remember, I called and challenged that play there, and this is the result. Now I gotta go get the Bumblebee Express, that yellow Can-Am. I'm out of here with this dude, on to the next adventure.
One More Thing is brought to you by Can-Am. The ride says it all.
I really love my new Nikon Monarch 7s, and it's not because they're such a good buy. They give me so many more opportunities while bow hunting for whitetails. Now, I've got a long range view here, but right behind me it's thick and I've got real dense cover. So with this 8-power binocular, I can look out on these fields, see what's coming to my stand area, and I can also just focus down on deer in the brush and see whether or not it's a buck, a doe, or maybe even a coyote or something like that. So a binocular is a handy thing to carry in your day pack or on your shoulder. I usually just have mine hanging up in the tree beside me because I don't want too much. I already got a lot of bulk on me, as you can see, shooting. So bring your binocular along, because it doesn't matter if you're hunting open country or thick brush. It will give you more opportunities to see what's hiding out there and in the thickest, nastiest tangles you've ever hunted.
Up next, one animal, two hunters, and a clear difference of opinion. You Call the Shots is next.